Good evening, guys, and happy Monday to all of your sunshiny faces. So guys, I thought today was Tuesday. For being a Monday, I was very productive. I woke up not super early. I'm actually a little upset because I'm kind of going to bed a little bit late. But oh sorry, I just stepped on a squeaky toy. Whose squeaky toy's on the floor? Somebody needs to pick that up. Anyways guys, so I did dishes, I did laundry, I edited and uploaded. Honestly, almost all that stuff ended up coming much later in the day. Actually, I feel prepared for the next day too, which is crazy. Which actually, when my dad worked out last night, because one of my bigger things is sometimes going out to the freezer first thing in the morning and trying to compute what I'm gonna make for dinner, like the next, for that day. And so, like I said, I normally wind up going out there before I've even had my coffee, like while I'm making myself breakfast and stuff like that, and I go out to our outside chest freezer and grab something. So I asked my dad, I was like, can you start bringing in the like the dinner that I'm gonna make for the next day the night before, and just bring it in and put it in the fridge. I told him to grab one of the we have, I think there's chicken noodle soup out there. He said he couldn't find it. So that's again another good thing, is that like I can kind of mentally prepare. So if I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that for tomorrow, and then I go out there in the morning and it's not there, and then I'm like, well, now I don't know what I'm gonna make. So he ended up actually bringing in beef stew. We're gonna do beef stew for dinner tomorrow, so it's in here. This will be partially defrosted by tomorrow. Not like insanely, but I can do like a quick defrost too and then just throw it in the crock pot. So that's gonna be for dinner tomorrow, and I'll show you guys what else is going with that. But what I did do today was I chopped up the broccoli I got, the pineapple I got, the bell peppers I got, and the salad. The only thing I didn't do today was I just need to literally put this in 3 sections and throw it in bags and throw it in the freezer, because this is just ground beef for my mom to use. I also didn't do my spinach berry salads for myself this week, but Jack made his salsa that he needed to do for his cooking class, so that's also made too. So that was actually, it was a good amount of salsa. But what I actually do, guys, is, this was dinner from tonight. What I do when I make my quesadillas, I throw a little bit of salsa in there, and I've been using this stuff from Aldi, and as you can see, I'm almost out. This is probably actually only one more use. And then I also add some black beans over it too. Like, I do fully loaded quesadillas when I make myself quesadillas. Like, it is not just like skimpy cheese. I put all the fixins on there. So I do that. So throw some guacamole in there as well, but I don't like warm like avocado, so I always do it after it's done. So the fridge is a tiny bit chaotic, but it's not too bad. So I got to that today. Like I said, kind of doing all of that food prep stuff and things like that. And then Jack also ended up getting to the like I said, which I had to help him too, because like I said, he's a little bit like, they give him the directions and stuff like that for his foods class, but it's not like, I don't know, super detailed too. And like Jack, like, I mean, barely knows how to like cut things up sometimes too. Like, and I'll be honest too, like the first time I ever cut an avocado, I didn't know what I was doing, because I was like, oh, there's a pit in here, like if you've never cut something for the first time and you don't necessarily know how, it can be a little bit confusing. And so he used avocado for something else. So I think it's really good too, because it's kind of taught him like a little bit of like all the different kinds of things. I rarely use jalapenos, but he had jalapenos that he had to add into his salsa. So like I said, I've maybe only used jalapenos like maybe 2-3 times or something like that. So it's just like a regular bell pepper. So I kind of had to explain to him, like and or like the small like small peppers too, like the sweet bell peppers. They're like the little ones. Jalapenos are pretty similar to that, but again, he's never used or cut those or anything like that before. So and I've even changed the way that I was cutting apples. Actually, like now the way I cut them is to get like the seed out, and like I said, I've changed the way that I cut them. But so like he doesn't really either realize too, like you kind of got to take the stem off of the tomato. Like I think he was gonna cut the whole tomato up, sort of like the stem part too, because Well, no, these ones maybe I just used Roma tomatoes. That's what we got from the grocery store. Had some on the vine tomatoes that just weren't good anymore. But like I said, he was ready to like just like dice them up just as is. And I was like, no, you gotta kind of take like that, you know, like I said, where that stem part on it is. I don't know what that's actually called. Yeah, I don't think I know what that's called. I don't know if there's a word for it, but I'm sure you guys know what I mean. So yeah, and the same thing too with like the bell pepper, because he added a bell pepper in there and stuff like that. So, and also to the limes, he added lime juice. So he used just like a fresh lime from the fridge. He cut it vertically instead of like horizontally. I find, again, cutting it horizontally is easier, but he cut it vertically, and so that's why I was like, okay, well, it's probably going to be harder to squeeze then. And when I do my lime, I just squeeze it by hand. I don't use like a press and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, he was doing that. I was like, it's probably going to be harder to, you know, get all the juice out that you're going to need. There was a lot of like, you know, still, like I said, kind of having to teach him a little bit about like, okay, well, yeah, when you're doing this or when you're cutting this, or, you know, this has a pit in it, or, you know, there's seeds in this thing, so you got to make sure you take them out and stuff like that. Like, he doesn't necessarily like I said, know all of that stuff. And so I think he's just like, oh, I can just, you know, like add the seeds from the bell pepper right into the, you know, the salsa. Like, no, that wouldn't have been a good thing. So again, I had to walk him through still some of the stuff, even though he had the instructions, but it doesn't, you know, like it says that in the instructions, but like I don't think he fully understands like exactly what he's supposed to be doing. So yeah, I had to, like I said, kind of walk him through parts of that. But I did, like I said, I did dishes today. I also did laundry. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm a little tired actually. The other thing I'm gonna do to go along with what I thought we were gonna do, chicken noodle soup. My dad got the beef stew, so I've got all prepped and ready actually right here, literally everything except for the flour is the only thing I don't have here. But I'm gonna do this recipe up here, which is an herbed dill French bread. I've done this a couple times before, but I've always done it with Italian seasoning because we never have dill. And so when we got the dill from those little sandwiches for Thanksgiving, so now I actually have dill that I can use. So, and I got the bread machine out already too, so I'm gonna do bread to go with the beef stew tomorrow. I am like ready for, I got a bunch of stuff done. I edited and uploaded as well today. I did 2 vlogs, uploaded 2. I have the crock pot actually sitting out with a new like with the other thing, so I can just throw that stuff from the fridge into the slow cooker, and hopefully hopefully I don't wake up too late because the beef has to cook for a while. So even if I move it to high, like it has to be, I don't know what I wrote on there, but it does wind up taking a good time for the beef in the stew to cook. I have low 8 to 10 hours, so high would probably be like maybe 5 to 6, so it's still gonna be like, I have to make sure it's probably in there before noon. So again, that's why too I'm like making sure like I have all my stuff set out and everything like that. I am all kinds of ready for tomorrow already. And again too, I think I'm actually gonna throw the stuff from the washing machine in the dryer before I go to bed. But all of the dishes are pretty much, except for the stuff Jack did not clean up from his salsa. That is, he's supposed to take a picture of that too for his foods class to prove that like he cleans up afterwards or something like that. And so, you know, because that's one of the steps in cooking. I think that it's also, you know, obviously teaching them the responsibility of like, if you were in class and, you know, cooking class or whatever, you'd be cleaning up, and it's not like, oh, because you're home, because, you know, you're e-learning, you can just leave it for your parents or, you know, somebody else in the house to take care of, like it's your responsibility kind of thing. So Jack's supposed to have taken a picture of that, but that was one of his older assignments that he hadn't done, and so he needed to make that up, and that was the only one like of his. He's had a couple of missing assignments, and so in his different classes, I think that was like his only one for foods, and because it was like a lab and stuff like that, because that's what they call them, like the labs, for like cooking, it was making his grade kind of down. So I think like once he turns this in, he should have an A in the class. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I thought that his salsa was pretty good. I actually think it could have maybe used a little bit more salt, because I feel like we didn't double the recipe, but ended up giving him 6 like medium-sized tomatoes to use. Like they weren't like big like beefsteak tomatoes, they were like smaller, like, and even small for like what they were, like Roma tomatoes. And so it seemed like it was enough, but it actually seemed like it was way too much. And so I felt like, again, maybe it actually could have just used a little bit more salt. But like I said too, I'm gonna use some of that on my quesadillas too, because Jack's like, well, you know, like, is everybody gonna eat this and snack on it and stuff like that? And I think too, like, I think I was telling you guys over like Thanksgiving and stuff like that, some things, once they start to marinate with all the like tastes and stuff like that in there, you know, all the different ingredients sitting there for like overnight or something like that, it really starts to like bring everything out. Like, because the jalapenos are in there, probably a little bit more spicy tomorrow too. You know, just like all of the flavors start to marinate kind of. And so I think it'll taste like I said, it wasn't like plain or anything like that, but I think that it could have just used, like I said, maybe a little bit more salt, and then also too letting it sit for a little while. It's gonna make it taste really good. So I'm gonna go get in the shower and get to bed. I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. Actually, maybe I'll even update you guys, hopefully, to do the bread thing and all that stuff. So I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.